Okay guys, I have probably had the most productive week I've had in 5 or more years. I'm in the middle of cleaning my shop and it looks a little bit better than it did, but it's not the best. Let me show you something that I'm insanely proud of, and it's not done yet, okay? Don't judge me, but it's cool. So we're supercharging my wagon. We're supercharging and wide bodying it. If you wanna know why we're doing all this, you can go back to the videos, but there's a purpose for all of it. I've actually gone through and done seam sealer for everything, so just a little update here. You're not gonna cut yourself while working here. It's gonna be super nice. Jose's almost finished painting, but I wanted to seam seal this up so that I didn't get any smoke in the cabin, or I, got the least amount of smoke in the cabin possible. So we've seam sealed both of the rear quarters. Now I should have more suspension travel. This is gonna allow me to run 0 degrees of camber or even potentially positive. Let me show you guys what I'm super proud of here. This goes hard. Feel free to screenshot. This is one of the coolest things I've made, and it looks goofy right now because it's not finished, but this is insanely functional, and I actually had to do this. Don't worry, I have filmed all of me making it. I'm gonna explain a little bit first, and then I'll get to showing you what's going on. At the beginning of the supercharger build, it's kind of goofy. I'm not really sure why, but they don't really give you much space for an intake in here. Like, there's literally none at all. And they want you to run it like down here in the fender well, but because this is a drift car at full lock, my tire would hit where that intake is supposed to be. I don't want the intake being like all the way on the ground. I don't want it to risk being bumped or anything like that. So I had to put it somewhere in the engine bay or higher up. And I'm like, listen, dude, I got an old headlight. Let's make something cool out of it. I mean, it kind of sucks. I just spent a bunch of money on these new headlights, but it is what it is. This is literally a it's a functional like daily race car. So I was like, oh, let's do it. The car community as a whole is really built on bad habits. Today, I'm gonna show you guys a really cool product from Fume. This is a completely safe way to cut your habit. And I'll show you guys how this works. It's actually super cool. It's kind of fidgety too, because it's got a little magnet so you can sit there and play with it. Fume is literally flavored air. And I know a lot of the biggest problems is the hand to mouth. So if you can dial that down, you can cut back your bad habits. So this is the crisp mint flavor. It is just air that you're breathing in, and this little capsule allows you to just breathe in flavored air. So there's no smoke, there's no vapor. But the cool thing about the crisp mint is I know a lot of people like the feeling or the flavor of menthol, and this will actually give that to you without any of the negative side effects. So they got a bunch of different flavors. They got orange vanilla, maple pepper. This one is pretty cool, this raspberry lemon. They got a bunch of different flavors. And guys, I want you to know I care about you and I want you to cut your bad habits. Go to TryFume, that's tryfum.com/Evan Shanks. I have an additional 10% off for you. They've got some special offers and stuff right now, but I want you guys to go to my link that's in the description and check them out. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. It did take a long time and a lot of trial and error, and it's not actually fully installed yet. You can see it's not actually clipped in fully. Oopsies. This took a lot of work, and I'm very proud of this. I took the stock headlight housing. You'll see I modified it, and we did that. But it's pretty sick. You got the intake right there. The MAF sensor actually pokes through perfectly right there. Actually, you know what? I'll explain to you all this after, but here's the footage, and here is me making this Battle Eye headlight. So battle eyes are actually very common. They are used in turbo or forced induction cars. Well, it looks cool, but like it also serves a very solid purpose. You get the maximum air rammed into the, into the intake of the turbocharger or supercharger. If centrifugal rams cool air into there, but you have to do it right because you can get obviously rocks and big stuff in there. But this is called obviously a battle eye. This is one of my favorite pieces right here. So you can kind of see this, but the MAF sensor is right behind there, and it actually peeks through and fits perfectly into the hole that I cut out. So this rams right here into here. This car is tuned on MAF, so you have to keep the MAF sensor. If it wasn't tuned on MAF, you'd literally just put an intake right here and you'd be called a day. I was able to engineer a way. This was very hard to get on. Like, this should not ever come off again because it was very tough to finagle this direction. But the MAF sensor right there, I have cut it out to where it perfectly plugs in, doesn't interfere with itself. Wait, I say it plugs in, it's not even plugged in. Now it's plugged in. Anyways, but it's out of the way. I was able to I'm gonna run the wires next and kind of tuck this area and make it look a little bit nicer. You can see that the MAF is perfectly kind of tucked away back there. And now you see this. I bought this, it's NGR Racing, I don't know, but I bought it and it's just basically a turbo guard, but it's nice because it's actually very sturdy. It's very solid aluminum, and like if a rock gets thrown at it, it probably won't break through. Now MAFs or whatever, I mean, as long as the turbo doesn't suck it in, that's what counts. But the MAF is another, guard for the turbo or for the supercharger. It leaves me big room for opportunities to do like, I could do like a halo light or something like that around there, or even a halo light around this. I could do a bunch of stuff here. My favorite thing though is I did a bunch of MAF and I figured out exactly like the size of this matches almost exactly the circumference of what is available in the headlight. So you can see this plastic piece goes around it perfectly, and it sort of acts as a duct, but it looks interesting. Now I'm gonna have Jose actually paint match this, and it will, it'll be smooth, it'll look good, and then I'll have lights right here still, but it's so sick. I thought about the paint match a lot. Doing it clear would probably be interesting, but also doing something unique that's what I do. So we'll see how it looks. I really want to paint match it. I can always go back, either get a new lens. Actually, I have a spare lens somewhere, or I can, sand it all off and then re-clear coat it. But really, it's just this little bezel around here that doesn't add anything to it, but kind of gives it. I've literally shaped it out myself to look like an angry eye, but then I cut the two little holes out to kind of go the way that the stock headlights go. Now, Jose has all my body kit right now, so there is a little piece of the little bezel that goes under here that makes the headlights pop a little bit better. Same with this, it's gonna make it look a lot cooler over here with that little bezel under it, so it won't look so like stand out-ish, if you will. I don't even know what the word I'm trying to look for here. But also, dude, check this out. You guys can't see it, but random, but I made a power steering cooler. Made my own little bracket right there. It hasn't been hooked up yet, but check it out, boys. Power steering cooler. Isn't that something special? Safe little place for power steering. We'll hook that up here pretty soon. We've got a lot of stuff to do with this, but I wanted to make a little video about one of the coolest things I've done, and that is the Battle Eye. I made one back in the day on my SC300. It wasn't anything like this at all. This is definitely one of the best, I wouldn't say fabrication, but I mean, it's a lot. I put a lot of effort into it. I mean, the little ABS plastic behind here that sort of blocks anything from coming out and back in, doing any turbulence. It's pretty sick. I'm excited about it, and I think it'll be super functional, and it looks super cool. I've got wheels from Fitment Industries on the way. Body kit should be painted here pretty soon, and the whole 330 rear swap I am gonna go ahead and put in pretty soon. And then we're gonna start on the NAT build on this, and I'm amped about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing so much work in the shop. I'm doing work in the shop for the first time. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was super burned out for a couple of years. My life has been odd over the past couple of years. After finding my whole anxiety issue and starting to mitigate that, like I started getting pretty lethargic with everything that I was doing and was super uninterested, and probably kind of showed, I assume. I don't know, the drive is back. I'm amped about the 370Z, and I'm back here just doing goofy fun stuff in the garage. This car's gonna be very unique, and I'm happy to call this car my staple car because it is arguably one of the more unique things I've ever built. It's sort of pushed my limits, my personal limits, not only my wallet, but It's just been unique, it's been fun, and I'm so excited to keep it going. Guys, I wanna encourage you to try something new. Try something new, push your boundaries, push your limits, and man, if something makes you uncomfortable, the idea of something makes you uncomfortable, maybe just try it. Worst that can happen is, you quickly are like, no, not for me. If you have your mind set on something, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, just give it a shot. Have an amazing day, keep going, and make sure you guys enter into winning the last giveaway we're ever doing, which is the 330 BMW drift car. So I love you guys. I'm gonna clean up a little bit. We're gonna get moving along with this again tomorrow. Peace.